Don't know if my microphone's on or not. Don't know if my microphone's on or not. Hello, everyone. How we doing? Pureblood Gryffindor, Ross Spark, Pret, Mrs. Ruby, Jess, Nyla or Neela, Wolf Games. Perfect. Perfect. How's everyone doing? Do I have new? I haven't got my hair cut in like a month. Let's see. I don't know if that worked. Did that work? Testing, 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 testing. Testing microphone. Yeah, I'm not in my apartment right now, so I don't know if the camera, we had to move the camera, so I don't know if the camera is working or not, but. All right, if the microphone's working right now, then we're all good. Let's dive into the book club. I'm sorry about any technical difficulties or anything, but I think we got it figured out for right now. So let's dive into Prisoner of Azkaban, chapter 16, to the end of Prisoner of Azkaban. So one of the first things that I noticed, the executioner McNair, I was wondering how he got out of Azkaban, because in the Goblet of Fire, Moody, the imposter Moody, mentions that a lot of Death Eaters managed to get out of going to Azkaban because they said that they were under the Imperius Curse and that they were only doing Voldemort's bidding because they were under the Imperius Curse, and so they were able to avoid Azkaban. But I was wondering how McNair was able to avoid Azkaban when the first thing that he did was become an executioner. So you would think someone that chooses to become an executioner and was convicted of being a Death Eater but got off because he was like, oh, I was under the Imperius Curse, like I didn't mean to do all that stuff. you would think that maybe someone who chooses to become an executioner, maybe that guy was a Death Eater. Like, I don't, like, I can see how other people, um, I can see how other people could get off, but I don't know. Like, if like the first thing that McNair wants to do is like, oh, I'm gonna just kill things for a living, I'd be like, that guy's might be actually, he might be a Death Eater. Yeah, so the camera is just gonna be on that side for that's the angle for today. We're in a new office. And then another question that I had is why didn't Scabbers leave Hogwarts the first time that he escaped? So Scabbers faked his own death, and he faked that Crookshanks ate him, and he left blood on the sheets, and that was like during Christmas time, and so for months, Scabbers was just hanging out. Peter Pettigrew Scabbers was hanging out on the Hogwarts grounds. Why didn't he leave Hogwarts when he faked his own death? Why did he stay on the Hogwarts grounds if he knew that that's where Sirius was and that's where Sirius was hunting him? Because Harry, so Scabbers fakes his death, pretends that Crookshanks killed him, and then Harry, Ron, and Hermione find him like 7 months later. He was hiding in a milk jug in Hagrid's hut. So if Wormtail knew that Sirius was after him at Hogwarts, why did Peter Pettigrew Scabbers fake his own death and not leave the grounds? Like, why did he stay at Hogwarts? Yeah, so with McNair, maybe because Bellatrix escaped and she was a Death Eater. Scared. He was probably scared with Ron and Carrie that Ron would carry him. He was kind of partnered with the Ministry when executing Buckbeak. Yeah, so he was working for the Ministry, but he got out of Azkaban by saying he was under the Imperius Curse and that he wasn't doing all this dark magic and he wasn't torturing and killing people. He was under the Imperius Curse. So he's like, oh, I was under the Imperius Curse, but the job that I really want to do is I want to be an executioner. It's like, that guy's probably a Death Eater. All right, what house is everyone in? Let me know in the chat what house everyone's in. Slytherin, Jess, there you go. Gryffindor, Megan. And then another thing that I noticed is that this is probably the worst thing that Snape ever did. Hedwig Hufflepuff. Yo, what's up? How you doing, Hedwig Hufflepuff? Tram Hufflepuff. Pure Blood Gryffindor. Megan Gryffindor. So, oh, Hedwig, you're Francesca as well. Oh, George, you're Hufflepuff. But your Gryffindor curse George Weasley. Sorry, you're all good. Wolf Games, Ravenclaw. So here's what I think the worst thing that Snape ever did. So Snape knew that Wormtail was the spy or the Death Eater during the First Wizarding War. Because Sirius says that the Death Eaters who were in Azkaban weren't happy with Wormtail because he led Voldemort to the Potters, and which led to Voldemort's downfall. So Sirius was saying that the Death Eaters in Azkaban were pissed off at Wormtail because because Wormtail gave the information to Voldemort that led him to the Potters. But that means that the Death Eaters knew that Wormtail was the spy. They didn't. That means that all. And then Sirius says that Peter Pettigrew hasn't been hiding from. He hasn't been hiding from Sirius for the past 12 years. He's been hiding from the Death Eaters who were who evaded Azkaban because they would have gone and had their revenge on Wormtail. So that means that the Death Eaters knew that Wormtail was the spy, which means that Snape knew that Wormtail was the spy, which means that Snape withheld that information, withheld the information of knowing that Wormtail was a spy, which led to the death of Lily and James. It led to all the deaths of all the Order members that Wormtail gave up. And then Snape knew that Snape knew that Sirius was innocent and he wasn't the spy, and he still let Sirius go to Azkaban and rot in Azkaban for 12 years, which is just awful. All right, let's do a poll. What's my favorite line from Snape? Um, Maybe my favorite line from Snape. Gosh, that's a tough one. In the chat, let me know what your favorite lines are. Always. And then also another thing that I noticed. Oh yeah, you've got your mother's eyes. Yeah, that's a great one. But yeah, he said it in the books too. Yeah, he said that in the books. Always turn to page 394. So another thing. So the question is, what's your favorite line from Snape? Another thing that I noticed was that so after they save Sirius or whatever, or after the Dementors, after the whole situation in the Shrieking Shack, when Harry, Ron, and Hermione are in the hospital wing, and Harry and Hermione are about to use the time turner and go save Sirius and Buckbeak, why is Ron in a cast? Because in Chamber of Secrets, Madame Pomfrey says that she can heal broken bones in a second. When Harry loses all the bones in his arm, she's like, "Oh, I can heal broken bones in a second, but growing them back, that's going to take a long time." So why was Ron in a cast with a still broken leg? And in the movie when Dumbledore goes and hits it, and like Ron's like, "Oh, like ow," and he holds his leg in pain. And it's like, if can't Madame Pomfrey just heal a broken leg in a second? And why would they use casts? I don't think that they would use a huge cast on his leg in the Wizarding World. Favorite characters are Draco and Sirius. Draco and Sirius, those are two characters that are on two very different ends of the spectrum. All right, I'm going to start a poll. Who's your favorite Slytherin? Who is your favorite Slytherin? Snape, Malfoy. Snape, Malfoy, Tom Riddle. Who's another good Slytherin? Here's an unknown Slytherin, Andromeda Tonks. Oh, Luna's your favorite character, Sophia? Autumn. Mudblood. Pansy's your favorite Slytherin. Pansy, yeah, she is not the nicest person, let me tell you. Oh, Harry's Child. So I've never read Cursed Child, or I've never seen the Cursed Child play, so I don't really involve that in any of, like, it's not really in my canon. I don't really know anything about that, or Harry's kids, or where they went, or what house they got sorted into. I don't really know anything about that, so I don't involve that in any of the videos and stuff that I do. Can't choose between Snape and Tonks' mom. Yeah, Tonks' mom, Andromeda, is very underrated Slytherin for sure. Yeah, that's Yep. Andromeda Tonks is Nymphadora Tonks' mom. So Nymphadora Tonks, who marries Lupin, Andromeda is her mom, and she was in Slytherin. Oh, Andromeda Tonks is getting a lot of votes. Andromeda Tonks is has the same percentage as Snape. That's insanity. I love that. Andromeda does not get talked about. She's in the book. She's in the Deathly Hallows a couple times. After the Seven Potters chase, Harry first goes to Andromeda Tonks's house. That was his safe house before he goes to the Burrow. In the movie, Harry just lands at the Burrow after the Seven Potters chase, but in the books, he first goes to Andromeda Tonks's house. And Ted Tonks. She's married to Ted Tonks. Wow, Andromeda is staying strong with Snape as the favorite Slytherin. I love it. Thought Malfoy would be getting a lot more love, but yeah, but that didn't make any sense. Like Ron lying in bed with a broken leg with a huge cast on it, when Madame Pomfrey can mend bones in a second. That didn't make much sense to me. And then Hermione takes Ron's line when they're talking to Sirius in the Shrieking Shack, and in the books, Ron says, if you want to kill Harry, you're going to have to kill us too. But Hermione takes that line in the movie because Hermione takes every good line from Ron in the movies. And then, Abdul, how you doing? So, why would I block you? Pureblood Gryffindor, what's up? So also when in the Shrieking Shack, Harry was ready to kill Sirius, and he had his wand pointed at him, and he was thinking, and he was in his head, he was like, "I'm about to kill Sirius, like I'm about to do this." And I was thinking, what spell would he use to kill Sirius? Because he doesn't know Avada Kedavra. Abdul, I will block you if you continue to spam that same thing. Autumn, your leg hurts? Your leg hurts kind of like Ron when he broke his leg. So also, in the photo album that Hagrid gives... Oh, look at that sunrise also. That's beautiful. In the photo album that Hagrid gives to Harry at the end of Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, whatever you want, that has the pictures of Harry's parents. One of the pictures is of Lily and James's wedding. And it has Sirius is in it because he's the godfather, and it has like the whole wedding party in it. And I was thinking, wouldn't Lupin also be in that picture? And so Harry would have seen, because Harry was looking at that picture after he found out that Sirius was his godfather. He went back to the photo album and was looking at it and was like, "Oh, Sirius Black was in it. I hate him." But wouldn't Lupin have also been in that picture? And then Harry would have been like, "Yo, Lupin, were you also best friend with my parents?" And why didn't Lupin ever tell Harry that him and his parents were best friends? I didn't quite understand that. Yeah, Sirius is the best man, but Lupin was a groomsman. He was a part of the wedding party, so he would have been in their wedding photo. Your favorite line from Ron is "bloody hell." It's a good one. Why did Sirius try to strangle Harry when they first met? So that's because Harry was attacking him, and he was trying to get him off. And he was trying to tell Harry that he was innocent. And Harry was just attacking him. So Sirius was just trying to protect himself, basically. My favorite Ron line. Yeah, why couldn't we follow the butterflies? That's always a good one. Snape, that's the second time you've spoken out of turn, Miss Granger. Are you capable of restraining yourself, or do you take pride in being an insufferable know-it-all? What house is Kingsley in? I would guess Kingsley would be in Ravenclaw. That would be my guess. What house do you guys think Kingsley would be in? I say Ravenclaw. Because he's super smart. He doesn't seem that like he's super smart, but he kind of keeps to himself. He's quiet, which I associate with Ravenclaws. And then also he always wears a blue outfit, which are the Ravenclaw colors. So that would make me kind of like I associate that with the Ravenclaw. My favorite Hermione line, that felt good after she hits Draco. Oh, Snape's overtaken on the favorite Slytherin. His outfit is not blue, it's purple. It's blue and purple. There's both colors in it. What are you gonna Google? Who's too underrated? Kingsley? Yeah, Snape won. Andromeda tried her best. Andromeda tried her best. So another thing that I questioned is how did Lupin never see Peter Pettigrew on the Marauders map? In the movie, Lupin gets the Marauders map at the very end, like the night before the Shrieking Shack scene. But in the book, Lupin gets the Marauders map from Harry around Christmas time. So he has it for like 5 months before the Shrieking Shack scene. And so Peter Pettigrew, when he faked his own death and went to escape, whatever, left the Gryffindor Tower, he was it was only Peter Pettigrew, Sirius, and Crookshanks were the only people going around the Hogwarts grounds at night. So how did Lupin not see any of them? There's only 3 names going around the Hogwarts grounds in the middle of the night or whatever. So how did Lupin not see Sirius or Peter Pettigrew? Because it's Kevin. Who do you think is the most underrated character? I think Colin Creevey. Colin Creevey is definitely underrated for sure. Yeah, Colin Creevey's definitely very underrated. I think Angelina Johnson's pretty underrated. I enjoy her character in Order of the Phoenix. And I also think it's great that Angelina Johnson was a background character for the first 4 books. She didn't really have any lines or anything. All we basically heard was her scoring goals in Quidditch. But then I think she added a great aspect to Order of the Phoenix, and she was her character was funny. She was very serious about Quidditch and everything, but she brought a great element to the story. So I think Angelina Johnson's pretty underrated. Yeah, but so Lupin had the Marauders map, and when Lupin gets to the Shrieking Shack, he tells Harry, Ron, and Hermione he says he knew to go there because he saw Harry, Ron, and Hermione on the Marauders map going to Hagrid's, and then they left. And then they left Hagrid's with another person who was Peter Pettigrew. And Lupin saw Peter Pettigrew, and he was like, "What the heck, Peter Pettigrew?" And he went to the Shrieking Shack. But Peter Pettigrew was in Hagrid's hut for months. So how did Lupin just see Harry, Ron, and Hermione go into Hagrid's hut, and then only see Peter Pettigrew when he left with them? I didn't understand that. Like Peter Pettigrew was just sitting there the whole time, and he didn't make any sense. All right, let's figure out what house everyone's in. What Hogwarts house is everyone in? Da da da. Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor. Also, if you enjoy the stream, make sure to leave a like. Really helps out. Thank you very much. And then also Dumbledore. So Dumbledore could have used the time turner instead of Harry and Hermione, because Dumbledore was saying the danger about using a time turner is that you might run into yourself, and then your former self would like kill you because you're like, what the heck, like why am I seeing myself right here? But Dumbledore was never in the Shrieking Shack scene, so if Dumbledore used the time turner to then go to the Shrieking Shack during that event, he wouldn't have been running into himself because his former self was in Hogwarts. So it wouldn't have been like a question that to why Dumbledore was there. It would have saved the day if Dumbledore just went there. Have I ever been to the Warner Bros. Studio? No, I have not. I've never been to London. I really want to go to London. I think I might go like later on this year. And then how did Voldemort never become an animagus? Dumbledore, like becoming an animagus is like the most convenient thing you can do. Like, you can turn into an animal. That's one of the coolest, most convenient things to be able to do. You can get away with like so much stuff pretending to be an animal or whatever. So I wonder why Voldemort never became an animagus. Do I like the Marauders in Wolfstar? What's Wolfstar again? My next Hogwarts Legacy stream, probably sometime this week. You think he thought himself above being an animagus? But what is that's just like another tool in his belt though. Voldemort would it just adds a strength to your magical abilities, and Voldemort wanted to explore all different types of magic. He wanted to be the best at everything. And so Dumbledore is an animagus, not exactly. His brain was part troll. Lol. Lol. Okay, what's your favorite Professor McGonagall line? What's your favorite line from Professor McGonagall? Who's also, I feel like McGonagall is a very underrated character. My cat is trying to cuddle me, the same one who attacked me. Yeah, it's Crookshanks right there. So, also, if Sirius would have rather died than betray Lily and James, then why was there a need to change Secret Keepers? So, if Sirius would have rather died than betrayed Lily and James or tell anyone about where they were hiding, then why would he feel the need to change who the Secret Keeper was? Whether Sirius was the Secret Keeper or not, Voldemort would have been sure to go after him because he's Lily and James's best friend. So even if he wasn't the Secret Keeper, Voldemort would have still gone after him and killed him if he wasn't giving the like information away. So it wouldn't have mattered if he was or not. Have a biscuit, Potter? I've always wanted to use that spell. George. We got George and Ginny Weasley in here. And Harry Potter. I've always wanted to use that spell. My doves just flew into the room. What's the most overrated line in Harry Potter? Oh, why is it when there's trouble it's always you three? Oh yeah, so also another moment was that after Sirius and Buckbeak escape, oh, cough drop Dolores, that scene is amazing. After Sirius and Buckbeak escape, Harry and Hermione are running back to the hospital wing because they want to get back to like on time when the time turner or whatever. They have to get back to the hospital wing to go meet their former selves or whatever. So they hear Peeves coming down the corridor laughing to himself. And Hermione says, "Oh, he's horrible, isn't he? He's probably all excited about the Dementors finishing off Sirius." So Peeves comes down the corridor laughing, and Hermione thinks he's laughing because he's excited that Sirius is about to get his soul sucked out by the Dementors. But I think Peeves is laughing because back when Sirius was at school, Sirius was a troublemaker. And I think Sirius and Peeves kind of respect each other as troublemakers, like Peeves respects Fred and George Weasley when they escape in Order of the Phoenix and like Peeves gives them the salute. I think Peeves respected Sirius in the same way, and Peeves was happy that Sirius was able to escape and was able to escape the clutches of the Ministry, and that's why Peeves was laughing down the corridor because he was laughing because he was happy about Sirius escaping, seeing another fellow troublemaker get away with something else again. Kevin does read. Give him a chance. Oh yeah. Wait, what was I reading, or what was I supposed to be reading? Do you think they didn't? Why do you think they didn't put Peeves in the movie? So Peeves was never integral into any plot line or plot moment of the movie. Oh, I mean of the books. So Peeves was a character that never had any impact on the plot, and the movies. There was so much to pack in from the books that the movies, literally every scene, if you notice, everything that happens directly has to do with the end plot line because that's all they can fit into the movies. Which is why it's great that they're coming out with the TV series, because the movies can't have any of those fun additions. Like Peeves is a fun addition to Hogwarts that has real no impact on the plot line. He's just a fun addition and a great addition to the books. He makes Harry Potter and Hogwarts such a more well-rounded magical place. But the movies are like, if he's not vital to the plot, then we're not going to have him in because we don't have the space to put him in there. So that's why Harry Potter was always meant to be a TV series, and that's why it's great that they're Yo, Abdul, I see you. Yeah, Harry Potter, you saw that video? Oh, you're up for a quiz? Okay, I'll put a quiz question up real quick. I had a trivia question. Um, my favorite McGonagall. Oh yeah, Abdul when they're late for Transfiguration. What's my favorite moment in Prisoner of Azkaban? Hermione hitting Malfoy is definitely up there. I like when Gryffindor wins the Quidditch Cup, when Harry beats Malfoy to win the Quidditch Cup for the first time, because Gryffindor had the amazing team. They always had the amazing team, but it was Oliver Wood's last year. It was his last chance. He really wanted to win it, and I love the Quidditch scenes in the book. So I love when that's of course not in the movies, because the only Quidditch scene in the movies is when Harry gets attacked by the Dementors and falls off his broom. But Hermione's always up for quizzes. Okay, which of these characters did not? This is going to be one of my future trivia questions, but I'll put it in here. Which of these characters did not wear the invisibility cloak? So, which of these characters didn't wear the invisibility cloak? And I'm going to put out 4 choices. Let's see. Did not. Okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's think of 4 there. I'm going to go with. No. Okay, let's do. And let's go. One more. Boom. Okay, so there's the question. Let's see what you guys vote. Which of these characters did not wear the invisibility cloak? Let's see. What is up with your keyboard? I don't know. Arrow High, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which of these characters did not? Yeah, I was going to use this as a trivia question, and I still might. I think I'm going to use it as this week's trivia question, so whoever's in here is getting a head start on this week's trivia. Which of these characters did not wear the invisibility cloak? Hermione's getting 0. I thought she would. Everyone knows she did. I'll come out with the answer in a couple minutes. Let everyone vote. Let everyone vote on it. But it looks like Snape's getting the most votes with Fred a little bit behind him. So here's a question that I thought of as well. Is do you get to choose your? I don't think you don't get to choose your animagus form. I don't think, right? Do you get to choose your animagus form? And I also thought it was interesting if you don't get to choose what you turn into as an animagus. It would just be hilarious, like the first time you transform, and you're like, "Well, here it goes. Let's see what happens." Then all of a sudden, like you turn into a frog, and you're just like, "What the heck?" Like I was wanting to be like a cheetah or a lion or a dragon or something cool like a falcon, and like if you don't get to choose like the first time you do it, and it's just like you're a worm, like that's what you turn into, and it's just like, well, crap, this isn't going to be worth anything. What would you want to turn into? What animal would you want to turn into as an animagus? If you got to choose, what animal form would you like to transform into? Depends on your character. Yeah, I wish I could be an animagus too, Martinez. Is it the Patronus the same? Is the Patronus the same as the animagus? So I don't think so necessarily because a Patronus can change. For example, Tonks's Patronus changed from I forget what it was before, but it turned to a wolf because she fell in love with Lupin. So your Patronus form can change, but I don't think your animagus form can change. A cat or a giraffe? A cat would be sweet because like you see, I like that Autumn. Like I'd want to be a cat or a dog because then you can go into like any environment. You can just walk around. You can walk around on your own, and you can just walk in a building or walk in normal society and totally blend in because you're a cat or you're a dog. But if you're a stag like James, then he can't just be walking down the street or be walking around in a park or something like that because people are like, "What the heck is stag doing here?" But being a dog, you can go anywhere and do so many cool things, and everyone pets you, and it's just awesome. What about an owl? Yeah, an owl would be cool because then you could fly. You could fly. That'd be so cool. I would love to be an owl. My favorite Molly Weasley line: "It's tough to go against not my daughter, you bitch." You'd like to be a hawk? Yeah, a hawk would be sweet. I wonder if you are a hawk if you start like having hawk like tendencies for what you want to eat. Like do you start liking worms or whatever hawks eat? Mice? Do you start liking eating mice? Dog. Martinez, you'd be a dog. Oh, you'd want to be a falcon, Wolfgang? There we go. Falcon would be sweet. So here's the answer. So I'm going to answer the poll question now. So the question was, which of these characters did not wear the invisibility cloak? And Snape actually did wear the invisibility cloak in Prisoner of Azkaban in the chapters that we just read. And he was wearing it. He was wearing it when he was waiting outside the room in the Shrieking Shack. So when the whole situation between Lupin, Sirius, Harry, Ron, and Hermione was going on in the Shrieking Shack, Snape was outside the door wearing the invisibility cloak, hiding and waiting for his moment to come intrude, like when he figures out what's going on. And so also when they're having the discussion in the Shrieking Shack, like they hear like the door creak open a little bit, and that was Snape like opening the door. But then there was no one there because he was under the invisibility cloak. So Snape did wear the invisibility cloak, and that was in the reading. So if you did your homework, you would have known it. If you did your reading, you would have known it. And so Fred was the only one who didn't wear the invisibility cloak. Lupin did because he did all the time with James and Sirius back when they were at school. No, so Lupin did wear it. Yeah. Yeah, if you did your homework, if you did your reading, you would have known that Snape in these chapters wore the invisibility cloak. I caught you guys. I caught you all. Hey, you got it right, Swore. There we go. Hey, Galaxy, you got it right. There we go. Martinez, we are family. Jess, you got it right. There we go. So also Lupin performs a spell, Ferula, that creates bandages and a splint for Ron's leg. So I was wondering I meant to look that up, what ferula means, because Lupin does the spell ferula and it creates bandages and a splint for Ron's broken leg. But I meant to look that up, but I didn't. So if any of you guys know what ferula means, here, I'll put it in the chat. What does ferula mean? Also, 30 likes. Can we get to 40? If you haven't liked, let's see if we can get to 40 likes. Hey, Sebastian, how you doing? Also, when Sirius and Harry are having the conversation, and Sirius is like, "Oh, would you want to come live with me? Like, you can come live with me if you want." And Harry's like, "What? Like, yes, of course I want to do that." But then Wormtail escapes, and so they can't do that. But do you think Dumbledore would have let Harry live with Sirius? Because the whole like spell of Harry going back to the Dursleys every year, uh, like the protection charm or whatever. Do you think Dumbledore would have allowed Harry to? And don't. What am I saying? Dumbledore would have had no say in that because Sirius is Harry's legal guardian. Dumbledore isn't any. He's just a guy freaking messing around with it. Yeah, Dumbledore should have no say. Oh, you have a dog called Luna? That's awesome. Do you think Peeves and Sirius and James had a relationship? Yeah, I think they definitely did. If not, I think they might have even had a better relationship because they were like the first troublemakers. Yeah, Galaxy, I definitely think they did. So So Fudge also says that he wanted to give Snape the Order of Merlin second class for rescuing like Harry and everyone from the Dementors, but it wasn't even Snape. So Snape would have got it for nothing, and he was going to accept the award because it was Harry's future self who did the Patronus that saved Harry and Sirius from all the Dementors. So Snape didn't even do anything, and he was just like, "Oh yes, like that's like Snape's a little rat bastard." Would Wormtail's hand given by Voldemort would have been transferred if he? Yeah, so I think it would have. I think he would have had like a little silver paw when he transformed him into a rat. You're literally playing Hogwarts Mystery. Oh, I love that. So another question that I had. No, never mind. Now that I'm thinking about it, that actually makes sense. Oh yeah. So oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So here, I was just trying to collect my thoughts on it. Um, so in the books, uh, Harry, Ron, and Hermione find Scabbers hiding in a milk jug in Hagrid's hut. So they find him right like the day that Buckbeak's going to be executed. They just like a milk jug tips over and breaks, and they find Scabbers in that. They kind of had that moment in the movies when the future Harry and Hermione are outside of Hagrid's hut, and they throw the rock, and that breaks the jug, and it's like a sand jug. It's not a milk jug, and that breaks it. And then Harry's like, "Ow, like that hurt," and he was like, "Oh, well, that hurt. Like that's weird." So they did kind of have like a jug breaking, but it was a totally different thing from the books and the movies. And then Harry, Ron, and Hermione find Scabbers just like running around the Hogwarts grounds, not in the milk jug. Oh yeah, sorry if I swore. Sometimes it just comes out. Um. Oh yeah, so something else that I was kind of thinking, it would have been nice to see like Hagrid fight McNair in the Battle of Hogwarts because McNair was the one who was going to kill Buckbeak, and he like really wanted to. So that would have been like a cool little bookend thing if Hagrid fought McNair in the Battle of Hogwarts. Sebastian, you're a big Potterhead. I love it. So what's your guys' favorite? What's your guys' favorite? How about Horace Slughorn? What's your favorite Horace Slughorn line? Half-Blood Prince. Yeah, or what's so Hedwig? So I don't read. I don't read the books on the live streams. So everyone reads throughout the week. Everyone reads the chapters throughout the week, and then we just discuss interesting things we found in the reading. We don't read the actual. So what's everyone's favorite book? What's your favorite Harry Potter book? Yeah, Slughorn lines are tough to come up with. I was just trying to come up with a deeper character than the usual. So this live stream is about chapters 16 to the end of Prisoner of Azkaban. It was like 22, like chapter 22. Harry, my boy, is that a Slughorn? Yeah. And then one of my favorite Slughorn lines is, "Oh, all hands on deck, Granger." When he when he spills the butterbeer into three broomsticks, and he's like, "Oh, all hands on deck, Ranger." And then also in the books, when Buckbeak escapes and McNair's like all pissed off about it, he swings his axe into Hagrid's fence like in anger. And I was wondering, I was like, shouldn't Hagrid sue McNair for doing that? Prisoner of Azkaban. Goblet of Fire. Do live sessions of the book reading in Candle and Flame. I might do that. I feel like I'm not that great at reading out loud, so that might not. Oh yeah. So another thing that I noticed was that when when Sirius is in his prison, and Harry and Hermione go to rescue him. In the movie, Hermione uses the spell Bombarda to blast open Sirius's door, but in the book, she uses Alohomora, which is the regular spell that opens locks on doors. But in the movie, she uses Bombarda and just blasts open the door. And then also, Fudge, when Fudge is talking about getting rid of the Dementors at the end of the book, he says that perhaps we should think about using dragons at the entrance. And I was wondering if that was foreshadowing to the Triwizard Tournament in Goblet of Fire, which is the next book. Yeah, Sudeep, that was a little much by Hermione right there. Why didn't Sirius get the Dementor's kiss? Because Harry and Hermione went to save him with the time turner. They got there before the Dementors could. Which house am I? I'm Hufflepuff. I did like the Potterhead sorting thing. I wasn't too happy with that, but I guess I'm a Hufflepuff. When he was in prison, so he didn't get the Dementor's kiss because he just got life in Azkaban, which is, I mean, that's awful because for 30 years, you're just sitting in Azkaban with Dementors just outside making you all depressed every day. That'd be rough. So also, Lupin got exposed as a werewolf because Snape went to the Slytherins the day after Sirius escaped and everything that happened there. Snape just went to all the Slytherins and told all of them that Lupin was a werewolf, and it's just like Snape is such an immature. Like he just goes to all the students and he's basically like telling on them like a little kid or whatever, just so all the Slytherins know that Lupin's a werewolf to get Lupin fired. And it's just like, did Snape just gather all the Slytherins and be like, "Hey guys, by the way, Lupin is a werewolf. Like, do with that what you will." Silpile, hello from Germany. I've always wanted to go to Germany. The Slytherin lot didn't turn to page 300. It was 374, wasn't it? He told the parents that Lupin is a werewolf. No, so Hagrid said that he told the students. He gathered all the Slytherin students and told all the Slytherin students that Lupin was a werewolf. Oh, hi from Albania? That's cool. Because that's where Voldemort was hiding, in the forest in Albania. Oh, South Africa. There we go. One of my old roommates was from South Africa. Tell us the graveyard scene from Goblet of Fire when you. What do you mean? Tell you the graveyard scene when you know who arrives? Like read it out loud. How did Lupin forget to take Wolfsbane? Well, I guess Lupin was going to take it that night, but he saw Peter Pettigrew on the Marauders map, and everything kind of went out of his mind because he thought Peter Pettigrew was dead, and he kind of went into shock. Love from India? Well, love from the United States. Voldemort used to live in my country. I love that. All right, everyone. Well, that's all I had on Prisoner of Azkaban, from chapters 16 through 22. Next week we're gonna be starting the Goblet of Fire, so we're probably gonna do chapters 1 through 5 for next week and have a live stream on that on either Saturday or Sunday morning. I'll take a look at how long the chapters are because Goblet of Fire is the longest book, so. It'll most likely be chapters 1 through 5 of Goblet of Fire live stream next Saturday or Sunday morning. I'll let you know by Wednesday what specific time it's going to be. Piggy, what's going on? I've seen you in the chat. Love from the hospital. What happened? Goblet of Fire is your fave? Yeah, I'm excited too. I love Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix is long. Oh yeah, Order of the Phoenix is the longest book. Yeah, and that's why it's my favorite. I love Order of the Phoenix. Goblet of Fire is it's your least favorite book and movie. Why? You don't like the Triwizard Tournament? Abdul, hello from Pakistan. Oh, Ella, I'm glad you enjoyed them. Thank you very much. My addiction for Harry Potter is just ridiculous. Ha 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 ha. Good ones to hear. Goblet of Fire is how a year at a wizarding school has to be. Yeah, I mean, it'd be an amazing year at a wizarding school, unless you're in the tournament. There's just a lot of boring parts to know. No, I mean, I like the Quidditch World Cup, the Tri Wizard Tournament, the Yule Ball. You don't like the movie, but I love the book. Yeah, well, the movie is basically nothing like the book because the book is so long. What game is this? Oh, it's Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, you can't talk? I'm sorry about that, Piggy. You the goat, thank you very much. Your duck is attacking your leg. What's the name of your duck? Oh, Jess, you're reading Goblet of Fire. What chapter are you on? Because we're going to be doing chapters 1 through 5 this week. Have we caught up to you, Jess? I love it. I was wondering if we would when we were reading. Saw this meme the other day, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Hide Them by Rubius Haggard. Yeah. He's not very good at hiding them, though. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, you love my videos? Thank you very much, Swara. Yeah, next live stream's going to be either Saturday or Sunday morning. If Hermione has the time turner, why can't President Time Hermione see herself when she's using the time turner? I don't know. Who's my favorite character? Sirius Black. What up, Horimo? Thank you very much, Harry Potter. Oh, Orange is the name of your duck. All right, everyone. That's this week's live stream. I will catch you guys next week for chapters 1 through 5 of Goblet of Fire. Very excited to start that. We're going to get into the Quidditch World Cup. So thank you very much for joining, and I will see you guys next week. Oh, you're on chapter 9? Well, we'll catch up to you in a couple weeks. Da-da. All right, peace out, ladies and gentlemen.